Welcome back to Rapture Tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and get ready for another story you won't forget. Let's dive back to the story. Elena Moore married Victor Moore at an age when most of her friends were still discovering themselves. She believed marriage was a partnership forged through sacrifice and loyalty, and when Victor's accident shattered that illusion of an ordinary life, she stepped forward without hesitation. The crash left Victor paralyzed from the waist down, and overnight Elena became more than a wife. She became a nurse, a therapist, a driver, a scheduler, and an emotional anchor. She learned how to lift his weight without injuring him, how to manage his medication, how to read his moods before he spoke. Her days became measured by pain cycles and physical therapy sessions, her nights broken by his discomfort and frustration. As years passed, Elena's own dreams quietly dissolved. She gave up her graduate plans, declined job offers, and stopped returning calls from friends who no longer understood her world. She told herself love meant endurance, that commitment meant staying even when it was hard. Victor rarely noticed what she gave up. He accepted her presence as permanent, her labor as expected, and her silence as proof that she was content. Victor's son, Caleb, made the home even heavier. A teenager when Elena entered his life, he never accepted her. He viewed her as a replacement for his late mother, someone temporary and undeserving of respect. He spoke to her sharply, dismissed her authority, and treated her efforts with open disdain. Elena cleaned his rooms, cooked his meals, attended school meetings, and absorbed his anger without protest. She believed patience would soften him. Victor never intervened. When Elena mentioned Caleb's behavior, Victor brushed it off, telling her she needed to try harder, be more understanding. Slowly, Elena learned that her feelings ranked below Victor's comfort and Caleb's resentment. The household revolved around Victor's needs, and Elena rotated endlessly around them. The turning point arrived without drama. At a rehabilitation center, Elena paused outside a therapy room when she heard Victor's voice. He was laughing with another patient, Howard Blake, speaking with pride and ease. Victor boasted about how lucky he was to have secured a free servant, joking that marrying young ensured lifelong care without cost. He laughed about how Elena would never leave, how she had nowhere else to go. Elena stood frozen, the words slicing through her with terrifying clarity. 5 years of sacrifice were reduced to mockery. Love was not what Victor saw. When he looked at her, he saw utility. The woman who had bathed him, fed him, and defended him was nothing more than unpaid labor in his eyes. That night, Elena couldn't sleep. Every memory rearranged itself under this new truth. The dismissive comments, the lack of gratitude, the way Victor never asked how she was doing. She realized she had been slowly erased without noticing. Searching for answers, Elena reviewed financial documents she had never questioned. What she found confirmed her worst fears. Victor had removed her from his life insurance policy. Worse, he had secretly transferred a large sum of money to Caleb, securing his son's future, while leaving Elena with nothing. The betrayal was complete. Elena had given her youth to a man who planned a future without her. She understood then that staying would only deepen her erasure. She packed quietly and left without confrontation. There was no screaming, no final argument. She chose dignity over drama. Elena found refuge with her best friend, Renee Carter, who listened without judgment and offered safety without conditions. With Renee's encouragement, Elena contacted a lawyer, Marcia Klein. For the first time in years, someone spoke on Elena's behalf. Marcia explained her rights, validated her contributions, and helped her file for separation. The legal process was brutal. Victor lashed out with cruelty, accusing Elena of abandonment. Caleb followed his father's lead, harassing her with messages that called her a temporary replacement, a servant who had overstepped her place. Elena endured it all with quiet resolve. In court, the truth emerged. Records detailed Elena's unpaid labor, financial sacrifices, and years of caregiving. The judge recognized her contributions as substantial and undeniable. Victor's attempt to erase her failed. The money transfer to Caleb was reversed, and Elena was awarded a fair share of the marital assets. As Victor's health declined, reality shifted. Caleb proved unwilling to provide the care Elena once gave freely. Victor faced the consequences of his entitlement alone. Elena chose not to look back. Instead, she rebuilt. She began writing, first privately, then publicly. Her blog gave voice to women who had been reduced, used, and dismissed. Her words resonated because they were honest, Elena found work as an editor, rediscovering her intellect and independence. She moved into a space that belonged entirely to her, a home defined by peace rather than obligation. Her life no longer revolved around saving others. It revolved around honoring herself. Elena was no longer a servant, a caretaker, or a sacrifice. She was the author of her own future, and she never let anyone rewrite it again. That's all for today. Like, subscribe, and see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.